Nancy Pelosi is now being clear on something that we already suspected. She is not a supporter of Medicare for all, and she explained why in an interview on CNBC.
You seem to be the only person who's thinking about not breaking the budget. What's the right path here?
Well, we think the right path is the Affordable Care Act, and that is a path to health care for all Americans. I always say to people, when we win, we can put everything on the table and see what it means in terms of benefits for the consumer, cost to them, and cost to business, to corporate America, which is paying a lot of the price, as well as cost to the federal government and local government. So I believe that the path is to health care for all is a path that is following the lead of the Affordable Care Act.
So we have one more video to get to, but I do want to comment on one statement that she made there. First of all, obviously I disagree about moving forward with the Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Care Act has many flaws, and even if you include a public option, that creates a two-tiered system in a country that is incredibly corrupt and has legalized bribery. So if you look at public education and what this country's wealthy did to public education by defunding it, and in some red states, literally taking money out of the public education system to fund vouchers for private education. We can't have a two-tiered system like that when it comes to healthcare. No negotiations, not interested. Also, Pelosi says we can, if we win, when we win, meaning Democrats, we can put everything on the table and see what the best plan is. No, you're not. No, you're not. She's not gonna put everything on the table. You think that she's gonna be open to a debate and a discussion about Medicare for all? She has nothing but complete and utter disdain for Medicare for all.
Well, I love that she says, if we win. I got news for you, you already won. You control the House. So is your new rule, I have to control the House, the Senate, and the White House before I do anything? Yeah, that's probably the rule for corporate Democrats like Nancy Pelosi, because they don't want to do anything. Their donors pay them to sit on their ass and do absolutely nothing. So here she is saying she's against Medicare for all. Hey, the rest of the media, can I get a simple agreement that she's not a progressive? So we told you she was against Medicare for all. She now confirms she's against Medicare for all. The progressive position is Medicare for all. It's also Green New Deal, which she dismissed as Green Dream or whatever. What is your vested interest in trying to paint her as a progressive when the facts are completely contrary to that? And can you please stop saying that we agree with her when she goes on CNBC and tells Jim Cramer, I don't agree with progressives. I wanna, so Affordable Care Act, she says, hey, we're gonna get everybody health care. That's not true. Even if you did the tweaks to the Affordable Care Act that Pelosi and Biden want, you'd still have 10 million people uninsured at a minimum. Okay, so it's not true that you would get everybody health care. And then did you notice how Cramer framed it? Nancy Pelosi, you seem to be the only one interested in not breaking the budget. In other words, all the rest of the Democrats are too liberal. But Nancy, you're a reasonable conservative Democrat. Interesting framing. You're a reasonable Democrat who doesn't want to break the budget. Now, Jim Cramer loves the tax cuts for the rich that put a $2 trillion hole in our budget.
Yes.
But that's his rich friends.
Yes.
Oh, getting health care for Americans who are middle class, I don't give a goddamn about that. Hey, don't break the budget. And Nancy Pelosi says, don't worry, Jim. I'm here on CNBC to assure corporate America that I'm on your side and I'm not on the side of the people who will be uninsured. And so don't worry, I won't be breaking the budget. So all my corporate donors, everybody be cool. Don't worry, remember, under my leadership, the Democratic Party will never do anything.
All right, let's hear more from Nancy Pelosi.
When I listen to the candidates in the debate, it seems like the majority do not necessarily favor that path. Is there a way to rein people in? Is there a way to say, listen, we're not going to bring that in the House?
Let's use our energy to have health care for all Americans. And that involves over 150 million families have health care through the private sector, through insurance companies. And we don't want to empower insurance companies, but we want to empower. Now, what the Affordable Care Act did, it not only expanded health care to 20 million more Americans, it increased the benefits. And that, I think, is the path we should go on. I think that what is being put forth, I said, if that's what you believe, God bless you, but know what it entails and what that debate would be like.
Oh, wait, did she just claim that the Affordable Care Act and possibly expanding the Affordable Care Act would cover more than Medicare for all. So is Nancy Pelosi saying that the Affordable Care Act would cover mental health care treatment? Will it cover optical? Will it cover dental? Because Medicare for all covers all of that, everything, literally everything. So this nonsense, ridiculous, and disingenuous debate about private insurance, by the way, drives me crazy because there is no need for private insurance when you have a single payer system that covers everything, everything. It covers everything.
And so she says, no. I mean, to back up the Republican talking points about how Americans love private insurance, she said there in that clip, that involves over 150 million families that have healthcare through the private sector, through insurance companies. We have to protect them too. It makes it sound like you're gonna take away their insurance. No, you're gonna give them better insurance, as Anna just pointed out. In fact, Senator Michael Bennet, who hates Medicare for all, another corporate Democrat, when I asked him about it, said, oh, no, you're right. Medicare for all is the Cadillac option. It's, quote, awesome. He says he's worried that, hey, but people still like their private insurance and they love going through bureaucracy. They love the red tape. They love when executives make all that money for no reason at all. And they don't want the Cadillac plan. Really, people don't want better insurance and they want to keep their crappy private insurance instead. It's a preposterous point. So look, there again, Cramer said, hey, is there anything we could do about that? I hear in the debates, some people are outside of acceptable corporate thinking. Can't you, quote, rein them in? So, and Pelosi goes and assuages him. Says, hey, look. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do anything.
Well, what happened to bringing, both ideas up for a debate?
Yeah.
Right, what happened to that?
So, hey, I don't know if you know this, but Nancy Pelosi, you're Speaker of the House. You can debate it right now. You don't need Mitch McConnell's permission. You don't need Donald Trump's permission. You know what you could do? You could propose Medicare for all, or you could let others propose Medicare for all for a vote right now. Are you gonna have that debate? I'll tell you right now, the answer is no. It's a guarantee, write it down in stone. The only way that Nancy Pelosi will allow a vote on Medicare for all is if she absolutely positively is forced into it by the progressive base. And now other media reporters, come on guys. So we point out her donors, those insurance companies that she loves, that Michael Bennet loves, and all the corporate Democrats love. They get millions of dollars from them. Do you really think it's for charity? And do you think that the second time they gave it to Pelosi, that they didn't get a return on investment? She sent her top aide to the insurance companies to tell them, don't worry, we're not going to do Medicare for all. So these are stone cold facts. And yet, every reporter is like, no, Nancy Pelosi's a progressive. You must bow down to her. I was on WNYC in New York when I suggested Pelosi's not a progressive. They couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it. They're like, oh, they were scandalized. Scandalized. Listen to her. So, and it doesn't matter what I think or what they think. The bottom line is actions. If she's a progressive, wouldn't she at least let the advocates of Medicare for all have a vote? Well, she's not going to, because not only is she not a progressive, she works for her donors and she promised them she would block that vote. And that's exactly what she's doing now. And that's what she'll try to do for the rest of her term, this particular term of Congress.
Yeah.
And only if, but by the way, even if Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren wins and says we want to vote on Medicare for all, are you sure Pelosi's gonna give it to him? I'm not at all sure. I think she's gonna pick her donors over a Democratic president, and I don't even think it's gonna be close.
But you know what? Let's not be too hard on her because she does have political signs supporting universal health care from back in the early 1990s.
Yeah, she said in an interview that she has a poster in her basement for single payer. Where she, I think, buried single payer.
Yeah.
And so she made it, maybe that was a tombstone for it. So not interested in corporate Democrats who don't even want to have a debate about it and go on CNBC to assure corporate America, don't worry, we're your sellouts. We will not allow this to happen under any circumstance. Like what you see? Click the subscribe button below and don't forget to ring the bell to never miss another video from the Young Turks.